Welcome to EIP Editing Office Hour meeting number 26. This is issue number 277 on Ethereum cat headers EIP IP GitHub repository. I've shared the link here in the chat for reference. Thank you, Sam, for joining us. And we are also joined by a few authors. So the first item for review here, I can see that is EIP 7682. Okay, Bofu, if you would be maybe share the PR number directly, that will be very. Well, in the meantime, Sam, maybe if you would start with the final EIPs, you can take a look,
Yeah,
and I will
sure.
try to grab the PR number for it. Yeah, thank you.
So I think that is this one here is 7682.
Okay, yeah.
I think. Um, yeah, so there's no reason that we can't work on this. It just has to be moved to the other repository before we can do anything with it.
I think this would be a good time for any other authors following this call. Sam, if you would like to let them know about the changes and whoever have not made their PRs move,
Oh, sure,
be
that's a
able
good
to do
idea.
that.
So after several years of discussion, we've split ERCs and EIPs. So if you have an ERC, it is now in the Ethereum ERCs repository. And if you have anything that isn't an ERC, it's all going to be in the Ethereum EIPs repository. This is kind of like a branch from our trying to organize things better initiative, and it should make things easier for us to review and hopefully make things less noisy on the GitHub for core developers who don't really care that much about ERCs, or at least they don't care to receive notifications about them. So if you had a pull request open on Ethereum EIPs and it was for an ERC type proposal, you'll have to move it over to the Ethereum ERCs repository. I went through and left a comment on everybody's pull request. There's a link in that comment on how to do it if you aren't that familiar with Git. Yeah, it'll look like something like this here. And the guide is right here. Just follow that and you should be able to open your pull request on the new repository and we'll be able to work on it. Sorry for all the inconvenience there.
Yeah, thanks for the explanation. I didn't notice you provide a comment for me. So yes, I will follow the instruction and send a new pull request.
Awesome,
Thank you.
Anyone else on the call, if you have any pull request, like the new pull request in the ERC repository, and you would like that to be discussed today, please feel free to share it in the chat and we will take it as we receive. So,
all right,
yeah.
so starting off with 7066 here.
Correct.
I think.
That is in the final. Yes, that's right.
Yeah. All right. So we are having some difficulty with internal links between like EIPs and ERCs and stuff. So if the bot's complaining about something like that, just ignore it and we'll take care of it at some point. Right. Interface for enabling locking of ERC 721 using locker and approved. This is going to final. So this needs to go into a last call first. Oh, unless there already was one. let's go take a look at the old repository. $70.66. Yeah, I guess they just wanted to go to final.
Yeah, the last status even on the EIPS report, I mean, like the website, it says review, so they need to go with last
Yep.
call.
Yeah, okay.
Sam, I wonder if it is possible to maybe increase the font size of your screen, because that generally does not turn out good when we are sharing recording. Yes, that is better. A little better, yes. But can it go a little bit more? Control plus plus.
Yeah, it can. Let me just put you back on this mode.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe you want to add the count as well.
Like the
End date for last
deadline?
call. Yeah.
I always forget the order. Comes right after status. All right. What is 2 weeks from today?
14th.
Yeah, so we'll do, oh, maybe the 20th.
Yeah.
Give them a little bit of extra time there. There. So, an extension of ERC 721. The standard incorporates locking features into NFTs, allowing for various uses while preventing sale or transfer. The token's owner can unlock it, setting up locker address, username, explicitly hosts the power to unlock the token. Owner can also provide approval for token ID. That should be for token ID, enabling ability to lock asset while address holds the token approval. Tokens can also be locked by approved, assigning a locker to itself. Upon token transfer, these rights get purged. All right. Motivation. So, UC 721 has sparked an unprecedented surge in demand for NFTs. However, despite this tremendous success, NFT economy, there should be the NFT economy suffers from secondary liquidity, where it remains illiquid in the owner's wallet. That shouldn't be capitalized. the owner's wallet. There are projects such as NFT5, Paraspace, NFT5, and Paraspace, which aim to address the liquidity challenge, but they entail the below mentioned inconveniences and risks for owners as they necessitate transferring the participating NFTs to the project's contracts. All right.
So Sam, I actually have a question on this one.
Yeah.
When we were writing 4626, there were complaints about pointing to specific production products because specific implementations are not necessarily going to be immutable like the standard is meant to be. So they wanted us to use abstract terminology like lending protocol or whatever instead of saying compound. Is that sort of an EIP editor flavor? Like it depends on who's editing, or is that?
Yeah. So like technically, like rules is written, mentioning a project is like an external link and should be prohibited. I'm a little loose on it, in as long as it's not like a reference implementation or in the specification section. But no, that is a good point, and we can remove those.
I tend to like the spirit of that rule myself, but I understand also it's like it is easier to point to specific implementations, so it's kind of unclear whether that belongs in like a Medium article or a Substack or whatever. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. There we go. Because if down the road they don't entail the same risks that are listed here, then it won't make any sense. So it's, yeah, absolutely a good point.
Yeah.
Loss of utility. So the utility value of NFTs diminishes when they are transferred to an escrow account, no longer remaining under the direct custody of the owners. All right, lack of composability. The market could benefit from increased liquidity if NFT owners had access to multiple financial tools, such as leveraging loans, renting out their assets for maximum returns. Composability serves as the missing piece in creating a more efficient market. Smart contract vulnerabilities. NFTs are susceptible to loss or theft due to potential bugs or vulnerabilities present in the smart contracts they rely on. Yep. So the aforementioned issues contribute to a poor user experience, and we propose enhancing the 721 standard by implementing native locking mechanism. Rather than being transferred to a smart contract, an NFT remains securely stored in self-custody, but is locked. During the lock period, the NFT's transfer is restricted, while its other properties remain unchanged to use or distribute its utilities. So there should be a period there. Okay. NFTs have numerous use cases where the NFT must remain within the owner's wallet, even when it serves as collateral for a loan, whether it's authorizing access to a Discord server. I can't comment on that, so that one is going to sneak through. Or utilizing NFT within a play-to-earn game, owners should have the freedom to do so without the lending period, just as real estate owner can continue living in their mortgaged house, take personal loan, or keep tenants to generate passive income. These functionalities should be available to NFT owners to bring more investors in NFT economy. Sure. Do I have edit rights on this? I do, so I could just make these changes. We'll see. Lockable NFTs enable the following use cases. NFT collateralized loan, utilize NFTs. Okay. Instead, lock it with an owner's wallet while still enjoying. Okay, buy now, pay later. Okay. Different from other proposals. This implementation provides minimal implementation of lock and unlock and believes other conditions like time-bound and great ideas but can be achieved without creating a specific implementation. Locking and unlocking can be based on any conditions, therefore time-bound. Okay, this implementation proposes a separation of rights between lock and approver. Token can be locked with approval, and approved can unlock and withdraw tokens. BNPL. Okay. So you did mention that somewhere else. Now pay later. Yeah. Compound empties, transfer and lock. Okay. By extending the proposed standard make secure and convenient management of underlying supports prevalent NFT fi. Use cases such as staking, lending, and renting. We anticipate that this proposed standard NFT fi projects. Okay. ERC 721 compliant contracts may implement this EIP to provide standard methods of locking and unlocking the token at its current owner address. Token owner may lock the token as unlocker to the same address using lock. This must set locker to _locker. Token owner or approved may lock the token using the lock function. This must set the locker to message.sender. Token may be unlocked by locker using unlock function. Unlock function must delete locker mapping and default to address 0. If the token is locked, the locker function must return an address that is locker and can unlock the token. For tokens that are not locked, must return address 0. Lock function must revert if the token is not already locked. Lock function must revert if token is not already locked? That seems wrong. Can someone double check that I'm reading this correctly? Lock function must revert if token is not already locked.
Maybe the goal here is to save some gas so that you don't execute it unnecessarily a second time.
But wouldn't this mean that an unlocked token can never be locked?
I think it says the lock must revert if it's already locked. So it means I cannot lock it twice.
But it says lock function must revert if token is not already locked.
Yeah, I think that's a typo.
Yeah,
That's like a logic
okay.
typo.
Yeah, I completely ignored the not. Sorry.
No worries. I'm just like, I don't want to incorrectly comment on this person's thing. Unlock function must revert if token is not locked. That makes sense. ERC 721 approve function must revert if token is locked. ERC 721 transfer function must revert if token is locked. ERC 721 underscore transfer function. ERC 721 doesn't have a underscore transfer function. ERC 721. So no, and you're also right, transfer, not transfer. That's
There's also a somewhat pedantic point here, but it's saying that transfer must revert if the token's locked, and then it's saying it must pass if it's locked, but the caller is the locker. So that could be simplified to it must revert unless the caller is both approved and the locker, because otherwise it's saying like two incompatible things, those two sentences.
And it's also saying that even if you don't own the token, it must succeed. So that's kind of a problem too. Feel free to leave a
Yeah.
comment to that effect. Like, I don't have to be the only one reviewing today. You see 721
True.
functions that transfer ownership of a token must revert. And we are too zoomed in.
Pull request 47.
That is not what I wanted to do. UC 721 transfer function must pass if token is locked and message head sender is approved and locked or both after ERC 721 transfer. Okay. Okay. Token may be transferred and locked and optional setup approval to locker using transfer and lock function. This is recommended for use cases where token transfer and subsequent verification is required. Okay. Okay. Optional set up. Okay. Okay, it's the actual interface. Lockable extension for EC 721. Admitted when token ID is locked. Admitted when token ID is unlocked. Okay. Lock the token ID if message sender is owner or approved. Transfer unlock. Suppose to set lockdown in terms of dead, freeing up space. This assertion helps your contract to verify if a token is locked. Okay, this process exposes transfer and lock, which can be used to transfer a token and lock the receiver's address. This additionally accepts set approve, which is true, which on true assign approval to locker, hence enabling locker to revoke the token. Okay. Okay, good. Security considerations. Yes, the rest seems fine. Good. All right, so I think that's good for this one. And we will move on to the next one. So ERC 3643. So this is moving to last call. Okay. T-Rex, token for regulated exchanges. An institutional grade. Let's expand all these first. Institutional grade security token contract that provides interfaces for management and compliant transfer of security tokens. And where are we going with this? This is last call. Can I? God, just give me edit permissions. It makes this so much easier. Okay. So let's see if there are any discussions still active. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Cool. So the 2x token is an institutional grade security token standard. This standard provides a library of interfaces for the management and compliant transfer of security tokens using an automated on-chain validator system leveraging on-chain identities for eligibility checks. The standard defines several interfaces that are described hereunder. Neat. The advent of blockchain technology has brought about a new era of efficiency, accessibility, and liquidity in the world of asset transfer. This is particularly evident in the realm of cryptocurrencies, where users can transform token ownership peer-to-peer without intermediaries, However, when it comes to tokenized securities or security tokens, the situation is more complex due to the need for compliance with securities laws. These tokens cannot be permissionless like utility tokens. They must be okay. Neat. The proposed standard is motivated by this need. It aims to provide a comprehensive framework. Standard is designed to work in conjunction with an on-chain identity system, allowing for the validation of identities and credentials of investors through signed attestations. All right. Identity system must be used to apply any rule of compliance that is required by the regulator or token issuer. Okay, agent role interface. The standard defines an agent role, which is crucial for managing access to various functions of smart contracts. The interface for the agent role is as follows. All right, so let's pull their discussion thread back up and comment on it. Okay. So do they have in the rationale a reason why? Identity management. No. Implementing this interface. What's a good word for this? Different independent. Example, ERC20 doesn't standardize. Apply some. I don't know, regulatory contract. Okay. Back over here. Actually. Okay, back up to here. VK's responsibility. Okay. To be able to perform a transfer on T-Rex, you need to fulfill several conditions. Sender, yeah, receiver. Yep.
On this point, Sam, do you
Yep.
think there's actually utility in standardizing functions that admins could call? Because then you can make interfaces that work for multiple contracts sort of more in a more opinionated way out of the box versus having to implement everyone's custom function names. Or is it enough to coordinate without an EIP for that?
So I think there is a separate EIP for the mint and burn functions, And I think that might be the right approach for some of these things. Because like
Yeah,
ERC tokens are definitely popular enough that a standard mint burn interface would be nice, but this, I don't know if it needs to standardize it right off the bat. I don't know if like the less you can standardize, the more flexibility you have, and then you can come up with something good down the road. I don't know. It's kind of a tightrope walk. I just want them to put a reason why they're standardizing it in here.
sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Force transfer. All right. The burn function. Do they actually specify a burn function? Getters, setters, transfer. They do. Okay, so they do have standardized mint and burn. What's the vault? EIP. Yeah, that one. Yeah. $46.26. This proposal. Mention ERC 4626 Vault wanting to comply with this proposal, but okay. Assets broken. Cool. On-chain ID.
They could possibly, I mean, they could just change the naming. And then in terms of accounting for how tokens, 4626, for example, that would just be like forced dilution by the admin. And the admin could be responsible for keeping the accounting straight by burning from somewhere else. Or the admin could have the rights to just dilute everybody. There's nothing intrinsically wrong with minting other than the clash of the parameter, the function names. So
Right,
they could
but
call
like,
it like
so
admin mint or something.
yeah, well, that's kind of what I'm saying, right? Like deposit would be the normal way to mint tokens in a vault, right?
Yeah,
So you could still
there
also
is
have a
also a
mint
mint
function.
call.
Oh, is there
Like
really?
4626
Okay.
defines mint. Yeah, it's the direction. So deposit goes from assets to shares, and mint goes from shares to, or
Oh,
it's
okay.
denominated in shares. So there is already a mint function there. But even still, it's okay for an admin to have minting rights on a 4626. That just changes the access control, trust assumptions, and dilution for token holders.
Oh, yeah, it's not that it's bad that they could, it's that they have to. So,
Right.
yeah.
Oh, the standard is explicit that that's the only way that you can mint.
The other one, I'm not sure. Probably not.
Okay.
The mint takes shares U256. Yeah, so it is exactly the same. Okay, so that's probably a bad example then. By depositing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that is a bad example. Thank you for that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Oh, dealing. Okay. Good. These are all actually rationale, so that's good. Backwards compatibility. Sure. Yeah, so I mean that's pretty decent. And then we'll go leave that comment over here. Okay. Cool. EIP editing office hours. So we've got another to last call. These ones are always the longest.
Sam, I think Pofo in the meantime has created a PR on the ERC repo,
Oh,
and the number
perfect.
is 80. If we can maybe quickly take a look.
Yeah, of course. There we go. All right.
Is there any policy for ordering the editing based on who is like which authors are actually on the call? Or is it
Yes.
kind of just go from the top to the bottom?
So it's authors that are actually here get priority, and then
Perfect.
whoever else asked. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, the idea here is like we want to make sure that this call is more utilized for answering questions rather than just reviewing, because reviewing are also being done async and by many other editors. So authors who have questions generally join this call and try to get their proposals reviewed and share their question with editor.
Great.
Yeah, we want to avoid the situation where this is a backdoor to get your EIP reviewed faster, even though it is that a lot of the time. Okay, preserve the digital owner's intent and respect creators' rights. All right. EIP proposes a standardized approach to declaring mining preferences in the metadata. Okay. VM compatible blockchain. This is metadata standards like. Okay. Okay. Just follows. Yeah. Okay. But in the metadata on-chain media provenance registration defined in. Yeah, so you can't. So even though this doesn't specifically depend on those EIPs, I would say that it's hard to understand this EIP without them. Understand this. Day 53. I'm also seriously hoping I didn't tell you earlier to remove those, because that also sounds like something I might do. Three and then 21, 753. Okay. Okay. Oh, and 1155. Okay. As digital assets become increasingly utilized in AI machine learning workflows, it's critical that the rights and preferences of creators and license owners are respected. And yeah, so similar to robot detection websites, content owners and creators are looking for more direct control over how their creativities are used. This proposal aims to propose declaring these preferences. Adding data miner preference in the content metadata allows creators to include information about how they want their work. In the content metadata allows creators to include information about how they want their work. Whether the asset may be used as part of the asset may be used as part of a data mining or AI/ML trading workflow. This ensures the original intent of the content is maintained. I think that's better. This proposal standardizes a method of declaring these preferences. Adding data miner preference in the content metadata allows creators to include the information about whether The asset may be used as part of a data mining. Yeah, I think that's for AI-focused applications. This information serves as a guideline facilitating the ethical and efficient use of content while respecting the creator's rights and building a sustainable data. Yeah, okay. The introduction of the data miner preference property in digital asset metadata covers the considerations including, that should probably have a colon rather, including accessibility, a clear and easily accessible method with human readability and machine readability for digital asset creators and license owners to express their preferences for how their assets are used in data mining and AI ML training workflows. The AI ML creators can check and collect data systematically. Adoption. As Coalition for Content Provenance and Authenticity, C2PA, already outlines guidelines for indicating whether an asset may be used in data mining or AI ML training, it's crucial that on-chain metadata aligns with these standards. This ensures compatibility between in-media metadata and on-chain records. Okay. So I think that's a reasonable call out for another standards body. And it's in the motivation section, so that's fine. This EIP introduces a new property, data mining preference, to the metadata standards, which signify the choices made by the asset creators or license owners regarding the suitability of their assets for inclusion in data mining or AI ML training workflows. Some objects include one or more specific conditions. Okay, that's all good. Each category is defined as a set of permissions that can take one of these values. Okay, good. Schema defined as follows. Property is true. Great. Mining preference example for only allowing for AI inference. Great, okay. And then embedding it into an ERC21. So the property in NFT defined in the example using the data mining preference property in NFT. This is a little ambiguous, so this and the example using property in, yeah, we'll change this to here, here, here. Following is an example. Yeah, so I'm just changing that because the way it's originally worded here, it sounds like the property is defined in ERC 721, but it's not. So just trying to make that a little bit more clear. We can put the data mining preference field in the NFT metadata below. The license field is an example for specifying how to use a constrained condition. An NFT has its way to describe its license. Okay.
So this license mentioned here in row line number 140 and 146, is that only specific to this NFT and should it be allowed as a standard?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm. Yeah, we'll put that up here. Okay. Example using the data model preference property in on-chain media province. Okay. EIP 7053, assuming the decentralized content identifier is after following up the CID. Got the commit data. A sentence fragment there. So assuming assume the decentralized and okay. Okay. 7053, 7053. Uh, 75, 70. Okay.
Sam, sorry, just double check
Yeah.
with you. So the suggestion is that in the example, so maybe I will write a comment like this portion, this section is the original like T721, and this section is newly added by this proposal. Just add some comments in the example.
Yeah, it's more like here, the 721 I'm a little bit more familiar with, so I'll do that one. So do they not even have an example in here? Yeah, that's annoying. So it will be name, description, image. Oh, yeah, there we go. So let's go. Yeah, properties, name, description, image, perfect. And then few too many on this one. So does that kind of clear up what I mean with these type of comments? Like, I want to see the. There's still too many new lines on there, but I want to see what the final like the
Yeah.
final combined metadata would look like. That way, somebody can like.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think,
Okay.
yeah, very clear. Thank you. I think just provide a 100% explicit example so that the reader will not be confused.
Exactly. Yeah. There. No, close enough. It doesn't matter that much. Okay. Good. Rationale. Good. Yep. Good. Security considerations. Yeah, that looks great. Okay. Yeah, and feel free to like give me a ping on Discord or whatever or Twitter, wherever I am, and I can take another look at it when you're ready. Yeah, awesome.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thanks for coming out. I've got a jet for another meeting, so I will talk to you all later. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Sam, before you leave, could you please let us know about the next meeting time? So if it is going to be 1500 UTC for people in the United States, the meeting will be an hour earlier. Like today, it started at 11 a.m. It will be starting at 10 a.m. Do you want to keep that or we want to move it?
I don't really care either way.
Okay, then let's keep it 1500 UTC. It's like not changing for many of the people in other part of the world.
Sounds good.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you everyone for joining us today.
Thanks.